going into fall camp, what position group do you feel like is the strongest? What position group do you feel has the most work to get done?
Well, I think coming out of spring ball, our wide receiver core looked deep, our running back core looked deep. I think we've got 7 or 8 offensive linemen. We felt pretty good about it, developed a few more of them. So offense was ahead of the defense in spring only because we had 4 or 5 key defensive guys out for postseason surgery, or guys that we think will be key guys. That will be back with us in fall camp. Now, in the spring transfer portal, we kind of took care of some defensive needs. Felt good about that. And so now it's time to put it together. We've got to have a great summer. Guys have to commit. And we normally do a great job there with Derek Owings, our strength and conditioning coordinator. I know we'll make great strides and progress, have a good fall camp, keep them all healthy, develop them, come out ready to play.
With D'Angelo Pons, was he a guy you expected to have that kind of breakout year last year? And what do you expect him come now that adding him to your secondary?
Yeah, he had special qualities when he came in as a freshman in fall camp. There were some things in his game he had to clean up in terms of technique. We were struggling against the pass early in the season and stuck him in as a starter about game 3 or 4, and then put him in the boundary. We were fielding boundary there. And when we did that, it was really a shot in the arm for our entire defense. He's a freshman All-American, great competitor, super intelligent, can really move, play the ball in the air. So, he's a big get, I think, but, he's going to have to earn it here. Nothing's given. Everything's earned, not given. And that's the way it's got to be. There's got to be competition. That makes everybody better. But I was thrilled that we were able to get him.
What would you say the pros and cons are of having a quarterback competition going into fall camp?
There's competition at every position, so and it makes you better. And Curtis is new to the program, but I have a lot of confidence in him. He's played a lot of games. He's executed a lot of 2-minute drives. He's thrown a lot of critical touchdown passes. He knows how to throw the ball away when he's in a bad spot, get you back to manageable down the distance. And, he's an older guy. And I think Taven made strides in the spring, and there's some areas. Everybody's got to improve still, but, Taven's got some areas that we're confident he'll progress, and then we've got the young guys.
What are the biggest things you think you've been able to achieve or establish since you've been taken over?
I think the biggest thing was we flipped the roster right off the bat. My first day on the job, we had 10 guys in the transfer portal, starters on offense and half the defense. And we were able to keep about half the people we wanted to keep. But I knew I needed to bring a lot of new faces in. And, we were able to bring 22 transfers in December. All those guys were 2-3-year starters and from winning programs, and quite a few from JMU, which really wasn't the plan when I took this job. It just happened. But you're talking about a championship culture, or people think the way you want them to think, and we kept the right guys in the program from last year's team and got rid of some dead wood, some guys we needed to. And those guys assimilated quickly, and we're not there yet, but nobody in the country is there yet, because everybody's dealing with a lot of new faces in this day and age in college football, right? But I like where we are starting the summer, and I have a lot of confidence in our football team.
With the you all lost Minor as well, but that room in general, how do you kind of feel about it right now?
Good. I feel good. I think we've got guys that have a chance to be really good players.
You mentioned the focus on defense in the spring portal. Is there any more competitive? You mentioned that the numbers were going to be bigger. Anything you saw difference between recruiting that all those transfers in the spring versus kind of the winter window?
Well, the winter window, a lot of those teams were in bowl games. Maybe there wasn't quite as much competition, and we had so many holes to fill. But I'm really, we were able to bring 2 defensive linemen in, a linebacker, a corner, a safety, and a rover. So, which we needed to do. And we feel good about it.
With the new ruling regarding NIL, some of it becoming in-house, it's projected to be somewhere around 20 to 22 million per team, divided in half, men and women, is what's been written. the percentage that's going to go to football, still to be determined, hardcore numbers, but what impact do you think that's going to have for the IU football program?
Well, I'm confident it'll have a positive impact. I think those percentages will probably be determined at the conference level. And the big issues out there right now, I think, are roster sizes. This was a settlement out of a court case that makes it illegal to have a scholarship minimum. So now what's the roster size going to be? Because that'll affect the game. And, and like you said, it's a pretty good chunk of change going to the student athletes. And, that athletic departments across the country will have to absorb.
Does that impact the way you go about recruiting with, kind of that sort of roster size uncertainty?
No, I mean, it could, yeah. I mean, because there's unknowns. When will that be determined? We don't know. So, we're marching on right now, kind of like we were 3 weeks ago. We anticipated this. And, when a decision's made, we'll adjust.
Is this something that I guess has come up with recruits, maybe as people have been able to see something like this is coming down the road? Is it something that's come up yet much in recruiting? Recruits wanting to talk about revenue sharing and how all that'll work?
Not yet. Now we've got a big official visit weekend coming up. Quite a few guys. Whether it's NIL or revenue sharing, it's money. $1 equals 1 and 10 equals 10.
With CJ West in particular, what did you see out of his film that you made him a priority at the defensive line spot?
A really big person that had good initial quickness, violent, made a lot of plays. The nose guard position. We were looking for depth and help there, and got to get him in shape, get him a little stronger. Has potential to really help us.
How have you gotten Indiana positioned to get some of the visits you're getting? Because the kids coming in offer some traditional top 25 programs.
Well, why shouldn't we be in that position? We're a state school, and the Big Ten and SEC are calling all the shots in college football. And with a proper commitment, any team in really the Big Ten, especially that has a state name, can be successful. And and people look at our track record, what we've done in the past. We've got some strong recruiting ties out there, and so you still got to get them. That doesn't count when they just visit. You got to get them.
For the high school kids that didn't enroll early and are just arriving now, were there any changes or last minute? No. Everybody that you expected to come is coming. Okay.
Renovations going on. You got the new indoor field and the weight room. What are your kind of thoughts on those and those improvement projects?
Yeah, those were things that were needed, and they look good. The field looks good, the indoor and the weight room floor and all that. And so, things are onward and upward. Everything's moving in the right direction, and now we got to do our part in the fight.
What's your message going to be inside to the 800 people that are here tonight?
I don't know. It depends on what I'm asked.
You don't have a speech?
I think it's a Q&A.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Coach.